Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there's just so much going on right now. Basically, what's happening right now as I speak is they're getting ready to get their one world government running. Like years ago, this was so secretive. The people that are talking about a world institution, a world government, these people are conspiracy theorists. They're nuts. They're conspiracy nuts. But this is no longer the case. Because they knew, eventually, we cannot keep this a secret forever. They knew there'd come a time that if we're going to have this world government, there's going to have to come a time that we're going to have to introduce it to the public, to the people of the world. Because there's so much that has gone on since now. Like there was this individual that used to work for the media, for the news. They told him that the Bilderberg group never existed. So they forced him to go after it. He found out about the Bilderberg meeting that he was lied to. That these people, the reason why they're meeting in secret, because people that are working under evil, they do their deeds in darkness. Okay? That's why. The Bilderbergs were actually here, ladies and gentlemen, in Ottawa. I want to get into all of this if I can. Like, there's just so much going on right now. Basically, what they're doing is they're setting up a one world government. Okay? Like, I want to explain what happened here in Ottawa. They came here to Ottawa in 2006 at the Brook Street Hotel. The Bilderbergs, you guys can check it out. It was in the Ottawa Sun. So, basically what they were doing is they were debating the war in Iran to take out Hugo Chavez, and they were discussing, what was it, oil prices and gas prices, and the house mortgaging that would drop or would go up. I forget if it was dropped down or if it went up. That was in 2006, ladies and gentlemen. 2 years later, what happened? The house mortgages went down or they went up. I forget what it was with the prices. Where it looked like it was an accident that just happened, but in reality it was planned here in Ottawa at the Brook Street Hotel in 2006. These things are all planned and organized and engineered. In their own documents, they actually go so far to say that we engineered the global economic collapse so that we can extend more power and more control. And they actually said, what's it called? The only way that we can solve this economic crisis, this collapse, when was it, in 2007 or 2008? The only way that we can solve this economic crisis is if we come up with a global currency. This is what it's all about, is power. And remember this, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Okay? And what Benjamin Franklin said, whoever would trade liberty for security deserves neither. This is why they're causing these terrorist acts, because there's no such thing as terrorism, okay, ladies and gentlemen? This is a lie. 9/11 was an inside job. I can get into a whole thing about that if I want. But it was an inside job. There's so much evidence, so much proof. Because if we're fighting terrorism, why in the world did Bush not close the borders off? He left the borders wide open. But there's so many things. You see it in the movies. You see it in Long Kiss Goodnight. The guy's like, 1993, World Trade Center bombing. The CIA had foreknowledge, ladies and gentlemen, or the FBI or the CIA. And the guy was saying in the video, what are you trying to say? How are you going to fake it? How are you going to fake killing 4,000 people? He's like, well, I don't know how to fake killing 4,000 people, so we're just going to have to do it for real, and we'll just blame it on the Muslims. And that's exactly what happened. And there's another video, what's it called? Gun plot something about these people. It's amazing. These things are actually happening right now. They're calling these people, because the people were saying, we don't have the proof. We're nothing but conspiracy freaks. Because there's this girl talking about new technology, and the guy was laughing. Yeah, right. Why don't you tell them about it's an invasion of their privacy and this and that. About the chip. Okay? About the chip. And then this guy, I'm telling you about the movie, okay? I'm telling you about the movie right now. This was in the movie. This movie was made, was it 6 months? Yeah, I think 6 months before 9/11. Yeah, March. It was made in March. 6 months before. September, no, it was made in 2001 in March. March 2001. 6 months before 9/11. So the guy's father he worked in this high place, but because he knew so much, somebody went into his house. They tried to kill him, but the guy was assassination. The guy fell down because he was scared. He shot himself. Then the guy that was on the couch, the guy's dad, came up, and he found out that the guy was gonna make it look like that his father really died. It was gonna make it look like that his father committed suicide because he had a remote control that can remote control the car and would crash it. So basically, what the dad did was this. This is what the father did. The guy that was going to kill him, that fell down, he got scared, so he killed himself. The father took the guy that was dead on the ground. He put that guy in the car, and with the remote control that controlled the car, he crashed that car into a brick wall, and it just exploded to make it look like that it was him, to make it look like he was killed, or to make it look like someone killed him, so that nobody would. So people would stop looking for him. They'd think he's dead, so no more problems. So in the movie, they show that there's a guy talking at the funeral, saying, "You don't think that your father was commit suicide? That he was killed?" Because the son in the movie, he didn't talk to his father in years. So he said, "What are you trying to say? Your father was killed?" He said, "Yes, he's probably killed." But in reality, that guy that met with the son was actually a bad guy. He wanted to find information out. So they found out it was over a computer game, a war game, and then at the end he found his dad, because they found the blood in the house and everything, and they found out that his dad, he faked his death. And this is what happened at the end. They were going on a plane from where was it? New York to Boston. Or was it Boston to New York? It was one of those. Boston to New York, one of those. So as they're on the plane, they discover that somebody's remote controlling the plane from on the ground. The pilots don't know. So he's on the phone with these guys, with their friends, because these people are professionals. They know lots of stuff about computers. So the guy's on the computer trying to find, he said, "We can't help you." And at the end, they were able to stop the plane because the plane is flying. It's going to crash in the middle of Manhattan. And then the guy on the plane on the phone said they're going to crash the plane into the World Trade Center. And that is exactly what happened, ladies and gentlemen. This was not a terrorist act. There's so much information. Bin Laden was getting kidney treatment in the hospital, being protected by the U.S. troops. Like, there's so much. And then there was a Navy SEAL, by the way, that was warned September 10th, 2001, not to fly into New York City. Like, I can go on, ladies and gentlemen. This is called problem, reaction, solution. Okay? This is called problem, reaction, solution. They create a problem, so the people react, so they come up with a solution. So you submit to the government. This is down through history, like Nero. Nero burned down Rome so that he can blame it on the Christians. Hitler burned down his own Reichstag so that he can create a high centralized police state, martial law, and he confiscated all the firearms, and then he killed all the Jews and the Gypsies and you name it. Now let's fast forward to Oklahoma. The Oklahoma bombing. Every time Bill Clinton was in trouble, a ship blew up, something always happened. And the Oklahoma bombing was a staged event so they can extend more power, take away more liberties, to try to make people believe that we're fighting terrorism when we're not. And there was a guy that was actually warned that morning. He got paged. His pager went off, and he was warned not to go to work in the morning. They were going to blow up the Oklahoma building, trying to say it was Timothy and all those other people. But yet Homeland Security will not release footage of surveillance because they know it's somebody from the Middle East. And then fast forward to 9/11, I don't have to remind anybody. This was all staged. History proves that it's always worked. So might as well go where it works, right? If it works all the time, people are going to fall for the same things. But I want to say this. This all has to do with the one world government. So that every nation on the globe will surrender their national sovereignty to an all-powerful world government. And this is what they're doing. Because right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, it's coming down the line. I see this all coming at me right now in 3D. I see it all. If you were to read the documents that I've read, I read the federal documents, and I read so much stuff. It's here, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming. Because right now, they have, what do they have? They have an Asian Union, they have an African Union, and they have a European Union. And what's underway right now is a North American Union, which is Canada, US, and Mexico are going to emerge into one super country. That's the only thing that's holding them back right now from getting their one world government running. But this is what's coming down the line, and I like to say this because people need to understand. Like yesterday, I was on my Facebook. I'm not saying any names, but I just want to say this. Let's see the children in the schools buying their lunch. How? Not with cash, but with their palm. With their palm, by a palm scanning machine. And this girl wrote down, "Oh, this is cool. This is cool technology. This is not cool, ladies and gentlemen." Because she was trying to say, yeah, but this is not the mark of the beast, so it's okay. No, it's not okay. Do you know that biometrics was created by eugenics? The people that they made the Jews their slaves, they killed the Jews. Study history about biometrics. It's nothing new. This is all a tracking grid to monitor you and scan you. That's all it is about. And there's actual stories by people with biometrics that they actually went on and said that we deliver information commercially, and they got caught creating false profiles on people. This is all that it's about. Like they found out this lady, there's organization Choice Point, Axion, all these are high centralized, they have powerful databases on each and every single person. Okay? Now they manipulated some information on this woman, and she got thrown to jail. She didn't know nothing about these people, and yet these people had files of papers, ladies and gentlemen, of her life, where she lived, where she graduated from school, you name it, ladies and gentlemen. Biometric is nothing but government control. And that's what they're talking about. Biometrics is the next generation. I'm not taking any biometrics, and whoever's listening to this, it must be resisted. We are the resistors. This is the New World Order taking action, taking control. We must stand up for our liberties and for our freedoms as time goes on. Because they're already talking, Gordon Brown's talking, but we are nothing short of a world constitution. They're openly proclaiming world government, ladies and gentlemen. Don't take my word for it. Don't take Alex Jones' word for it or anybody. Study the documents and see what's happening. World government has been around since World War II. The reason why it hasn't happened, because the Word of God says that it's going to be the revived Roman Empire. Like Hitler tried to create a world government. But he can't. It's not going to be a German government. It's going to be the revived Roman Empire, which is the European Union. Europe is going to take over the whole world. They're actually talking right now that they want to have control over Canada and U.S.'s finances. This is where we are. We are rushing towards globalism. For us that are in Jesus Christ, we don't have to worry, because we're not going to be here. We're going to be raptured away way before these things happen. I just want to show people that biometrics is not cool. It's not cool at all. We're like criminals. What are we, criminals now? You're going to have to take a fingerprint, a thumbprint to travel, to scan, to go on a computer. They're actually talking about we need a world bank for the world. They want to eliminate all banks. They're talking about raising taxations, carbon tax, like this big hoax about, what's it called? Global warming. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Al Gore that said about global warming, this is the biggest lie. It's about their agenda. They're putting fear on the people so they can justify their agenda. The only way we can protect the world and protect the environment is if we establish a one world government. That's all that it's about. These are not global warming treaties. These are global government treaties, ladies and gentlemen. They're setting up a one world government right before your very eyes. And I would like to tell you more, but I don't think there's enough time on this. I'm going to make another video so that you guys are aware of this. We're rushing towards globalism, ladies and gentlemen. We are in a global age, and we are racing towards a one world government, which means they're going to go into a dictatorship, because the Bible says that this whole world will be under a one world dictator, which is the Antichrist. So this is all I got to say, and this is what's going on. So if there ever comes a time where your city goes into biometric, reject it. It must be resisted. Because they're talking about we need to get rid of cash. Anyways, I don't have enough time to get into that. Just do your research, please, ladies and gentlemen. Do your research. This is for real. I'm not making it up. This is what's going on. So this is all I got to say, and God bless you all.